Season's greetings, people of YouTube. I recently got a box from Atlas. That means it's N Scale Friday. So let's go over to the workbench and take a look. All right, so what we have is a locomotive and a couple of little packages. I'm mostly excited about the locomotive, so as usual, I'm going to set that aside. Let's take a look at what's in these packages. Okay, so you could probably tell from the package, it's a set of three 53-foot containers and a set of three 45-foot containers. Each set has an MSRP of $36.95. And I've scrutinized these things with my magnifying visor, and the paint and markings are really amazing. As you can see, there are no problems with the paint. There's no gaps, nothing. And what's really remarkable is the writing, all that super tiny writing. I mean, I had to really magnify this with my visor to the maximum magnification to see this, but all that tiny little writing there, it's all legible. It is remarkable. And then the silver treatment on these door latch pieces, it's all molded, but it looks almost like separate pieces. Pretty amazing. Something else I thought was really neat, and I need to look at some pictures to see if they actually have this. I'd be surprised if they don't. The writing on either side of the edges here, right, the yellow, it's done in reverse. And I'm assuming that's so that the person driving the truck can read that in a mirror. I actually know somebody that can ask that question. But yeah, pretty cool. And then the 53-foot container, same thing. Perfect markings. It's all legible. It's really remarkable how small they're able to make writing these days and still have it be legible. Something else I've noticed as I'm looking at these is that they have little pins on the bottom and matching little holes on the tops, so you can stack them in all the different ways you would see them on a stack train. Something else pretty cool is they have the slot parts for a truck. So these could probably be used with an N-scale truck or with a well car. All right, next up is the MP15DC. I have two of these to show you. We'll take a look at the Union Pacific one first. These are available with DCC for $164.95 or straight DC for $129.95. One of the really cool things about this release is that they have several different molds with prototype-specific details on the long hood, such as the air filter hatches and exhaust stacks. So in case it's not readily apparent, the paint on this thing is great. Very crisp, and the printing, the larger printing is perfectly done. There are no gaps or anything that I could detect using my magnifier. But just a few things to point out here. This is a separately applied horn casting on top there, 3-chime horn. Looks really good. The handrails are pretty thin and they're not bent. A lot of times you see a model like this and the handrails are bent. They come out of the box like that, but this one happens to look really good. Okay, here's the other one. It's decorated for Morristown and Erie. And the first thing I noticed is that the air filter hatch and smokestack both are different from the UP one we were just looking at. The detail in the grill here is pretty nice. Let's look at the front of this thing. You can see the detail in the front grill also. Very nicely done. And the barricade striping is also very crisp. This has an AccuMate knuckle coupler. It's a magnetic coupler. Very nicely done. It's good that it comes with a knuckle coupler so you don't have to replace that later. And then of course the handrails, as I was mentioning, are separately applied. And if you look real carefully right here, you'll see that it has uncoupling levers, which is pretty unusual for N-scale. This is really nicely done. Looking at the back side, you can see it's pretty similar detail. It's molded on hoses, knuckle coupler. The barricade striping is also very well done on this end. These are separately applied and hand painted rails. Very nice. And uncoupling lever once again on this end. Looks really nice. Looking at the side here, you can see there's air tank detail above the fuel tank. And you can really see the detail in the trucks this way too. Another cool thing is there's a little red highlighting on the fuel tank and over here. Okay, I'm gonna give this a little test run here. And this is a non-sound decoder. That's why you're not hearing anything other than my talking. This also would be a great time to mention that these locomotives come with blackened wheels, and they do have the Atlas exclusive scale speed motor. That's a dual flywheel motor that helps it with smoother operation. And of course the lighting is directional. So let's see how this thing goes. Good low speed capability there. Very nice. Alright. Going the other way, it looks like the number boards come on with the rear headlight as well, which is what I expected. It's pretty quiet. It is very nice. Let's take a look at the lights. Alright, taking a little bit closer look at the front headlight and number boards. Looks really good. And now for the rear headlight. Same thing, you get your number boards and your headlight lighting up. Looks nice. Alright, so that'll do it for this episode of N-Scale Friday. Want to mention that I'm really impressed with those containers. I don't think I've ever seen writing that small that's still legible. So really good job on those. The locomotives are also very impressive. Not only do they run well, but they look good and they have detail that you normally don't see, like the cut levers, right? Very solid release. And on top of that, you have the different air filter hatches and smokestacks. So good job. I mean, I think that Atlas is really stepping up these days, and having prototype specific details like the air filter hatches and such is a really great thing to do. So happy Christmas, happy New Year, all that stuff. Whatever you celebrate, I hope it's really great, and I will see you next year.